Israeli and Iranian conflict that is playing out now. The Israeli military has said that it has killed 15 Hezbollah members after striking a municipality building in southern Lebanon. Now, this comes after Israel confirmed deaths of 8 of its soldiers operating in Lebanon. Residents in 25 areas in southern Lebanon have been told to evacuate their homes and head to north. Israel has also announced that 3 senior Hamas figures were killed in Gaza 3 months back, which also includes the head of Hamas government. Meanwhile, Iran has resumed flights. The flights were suspended after its missile attack on Israel. Now, with Iran's president warning Israel of far stronger consequences and responses if it continues military operations, what to make of the situation and what kind of an escalation could Israel now take? To discuss that and more, we are now joined by Gur Nir, who's the spokesperson of the Israeli embassy in New Delhi. Thanks very much, Guy, for taking the time out. Let me first ask you at the outset. Now, Israel has been under attack since the 7th of October, and this is the second one this year by Iran. Iran says that 90% of its missiles went through in that ballistic missile attack. While that claim definitely is exaggerated, but give us a sense of the scale and impact of these attacks.
Iran can say anything. Iran can say that they own the moon. Doesn't mean that just because they say it, it's a fact. The 90% did not reach Israel. Our systems are very advanced, and most of them, I don't have exact numbers, but most of them have been stopped. We are not focusing on ones that are not supposed to target infrastructure or civilians. So the ones that our systems can see that are planned to fall in sea or in open areas, we're not targeting at all. So we let them fall to not waste our ammunition on taking them down, but none of them have caused any harm to major civilian infrastructure.
Right, guys, so since the attack happened, things are quiet, but would you call that this is the lull before the storm? And if yes, what kind of an attack or a retaliation could be expected? What is Israel looking to do next? We've seen the kind of statements that have been made, not just by the Israeli Prime Minister, but defense official as well. How do you think Israel will respond now?
I think it is the lull before the storm, because Iran did make a great decision, and they are going to pay back for their actions. You know, firing 180 missiles on any country, ballistic missiles, with each missile containing about 1 ton of fire within it, of the capability of blowing down a complete building and throwing 180 of those. No country in the history of the world has ever experienced something like this. So of course they're going to get a response. When exactly it's going to happen, I don't know the exact timing, but I can tell you it is something that is going to come. And yes, now it's the lull before the storm.
All right, so lull before the storm. But let me also take you to the statement that has been made, or the stance of the Iranian president, Mr. Pezeshkian. He recently called for a diplomatic solution to the conflict. And if you've noticed, just a few days later, Iran has engaged in missile firing. What do you make of Iran's stance? Is the actual intent on arriving at a peace deal or a solution, or to sit for talks?
That is a question for Iran. We have been putting these requests on the table for many, many years, not just from 7th of October. And every time we got blocked in the face. We want diplomatic solutions. We don't want to have a war. I remind you that on 6th of October, there was no war. This all started when Hamas and Hezbollah and Iran and Houthis started firing at us. So that's a question for Iran.
Right, but let me ask you once again, is there intent on the part of Iran to arrive at a middle ground, to arrive at a solution, a diplomatic solution that it's been claiming?
No, Iran wants to have Israel eliminated. They've been saying this for years. Everywhere they can, they're saying that they want to have Israel eliminated. And they have been fueling up the ring of fire all around Israel for years to strengthen the Houthis, to strengthen Hezbollah, to strengthen Hamas, to hunt us down. And now that they see that we're fighting Hamas, we're fighting Hezbollah, we're fighting the Houthis, now they understand that all the billions of dollars that they invested in these terror fighters is going to waste, because we're kicking their ass.
Right, Guy, but Iran also says that the ballistic missile attacks that we saw 2 days back to attacks on Hani and, of course, Hamas leaders. Do you accept that defense that it was only a reaction, a retaliation to what Israel has been doing?
No, I do not. First of all, Haniya, Israel never took responsibility of that, so I don't know why they're assuming that we did that. We only took responsibility for the recent assassination of Hassan Nasrallah, which had it coming. He had blood on his hands of thousands of innocent people, Israelis, American, European, and he had to go long time ago. He had the Americans want him dead long ago. So them saying that they're getting a revenge for, no, that you can't get revenge for. If you have terrorists coming to kill you, you need to eliminate the terrorists. When Israel is eliminating terrorists, you're fighting back for eliminating terrorists. That means that you're a terrorist, and Iran is a terrorist state. So I don't accept that.
Okay, and how big a threat do you think Iran is to the Middle East? I mean, we've seen the kind of statements that have come out from the United States, which states that Iran is definitely a threat to the interests of US. But what do you make of how big of a threat is Iran to the Middle East?
Iran is a threat not just to the Middle East. Iran is a threat to the world. Iran is a threat to the civilized world because they want to destabilize the Middle East. They want to destabilize the world. They want to bring their extremist point of view and take over the democratic countries. And this is something that we need to be aware of and not think that Iranians are, the Iranian regime, I should say, is calming down or is trying to be less aggressive. No, Iran is a terror state and are trying to escalate the entire situation within the Middle East and around the world. We should be very careful and worried and designate Iran for what they're doing for the last years and especially this recent event.
All right, Guy, let's also ask you one final question before we let you go. Let's go to Prime Minister Netanyahu's blistering speech at the United Nations where he said that there is no place in the Middle East, there is no place in Iran where the long arm of Israel cannot reach. Surely Israel has the right to defend itself, but de-escalating tensions is also equally important. Where do you think this is all stopping? And do you see the involved parties here in this war arrive at a consensus anytime soon?
Since 7th of October, we have been asking for a peace deal time and time again. You know what we got as a response? Nothing. We got more and more missiles thrown at us. After 11 and a half months of Hezbollah firing rockets at north of Israel, we decided enough is enough. We've been calling for diplomatic solutions. No diplomatic solutions have come. We are going to take action and we're going to go inside with force and keep our people safe in the north of Israel and all throughout Israel. We are asking for diplomatic solutions for years. You're asking if you're saying that Iran wants diplomatic solutions. Iran has been launching this ring of terror around Israel for years. So I don't know what kind of diplomatic solution they're claiming that they're looking for, but they surely haven't made any step in the direction of making any diplomatic solution up until now.
All right. On that note, thank you very much, Guy, for taking the time out. We understand that you had to leave for a meeting, but thank you very much for taking the time out and speaking with ET Now. So the Israeli embassy spokesperson right here in India clearly hinting that Israel has been asking for a peace deal, but is not going to stop any further from here on. So all eyes definitely are going to be on how Israel is going to retaliate next. What is its next move going to be?
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.